All diseases run into one: old age. The age of a woman doesn't mean a thing. The best tunes are played on the oldest fiddles. Each age it is found must write its own books, or rather, each generation for the next succeeding. For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. Every artist was first an amateur. In art, the hand can never execute anything higher than the heart can imagine. Pictures must not be too picturesque. Love of beauty is taste. The creation of beauty is art. Flowers are a proud assertion that a ray of beauty outvalues all the utilities of the world. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. A man is relieved and gay when he has put his heart into his work and done his best, but what he has said or done otherwise shall give him no peace. No change of circumstances can repair a defect of character. Win as if you were used to it, lose as if you enjoyed it for a change. A great part of courage is the courage of having done the thing before. Every man has his own courage and is betrayed because he seeks in himself the courage of other persons. Judge of your natural character by what you do in your dreams. A man is a god in ruins when men are innocent. Life shall be longer and shall pass into the immortal as gently as we awake from dreams. God enters by a private door into every individual. Our faith comes in moments, our vice is habitual. The faith that stands on authority is not faith. He who is not every day conquering some fear has not learned the secret of life. Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. Do the thing we fear, and death of fear is certain. The first wealth is health. It is one of the blessings of old friends that you can afford to be stupid with them. The only way to have a friend is to be one. A man's growth is seen in the successive choirs of his friends. A friend may well be reckoned the masterpiece of nature. Friendship, like the immortality of the soul, is too good to be believed. With the past, I have nothing to do, nor with the future. I live now. What is a weed? A plant whose virtues have never been discovered. The highest revelation is that God is in every man. We see God face to face every hour and know the Savior of nature. God screens us evermore from premature ideas. There is no chance and anarchy in the universe. All is system and gradation. Every god is there sitting in his sphere. Bad times have a scientific value. These are occasions a good learner will not miss. A good indignation brings out all one's powers. This time, like all times, is a very good one, if we but know what to do with it. Doing well is the result of doing good. That's what capitalism is all about. I have thought of a sufficient measure of civilization is the influence of good women. Every actual state is corrupt. Good men must not obey laws too well. Friendship, like the immortality of the soul, is too good to be believed. It's a fact often observed that men have written good verses under the inspiration of passion. Who cannot write well under other circumstances? Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising up every time we fail. Character is higher than intellect. A great soul will be strong to live as well as think. A great man is always willing to be little. Trust men, and they will be true to you. Treat them greatly, and they will show themselves great. A great part of courage is the courage of having done the thing before. Death comes to all, but great achievements build a monument which shall endure until the sun grows cold. Enthusiasm is the mother of effort, and without it, nothing great was ever achieved. Great men are they who see that spiritual is stronger than any material force, that thoughts rule the world. To be great is to be misunderstood. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Before we acquire great power, we must acquire wisdom to use it well. People with great gifts are easy to find, but symmetrical and balanced ones never. Great hearts steadily send forth the secret forces that instantly draw great events. No great man ever complains of want of opportunity. Great geniuses have the shortest biographies. The search after the great man is the dream of youth and the most serious occupation of manhood. Great men or men of great gifts you shall easily find, but symmetrical men never. We find delight and happiness of children that makes the heart too big for the body. Science does not know its depth to imagination. Knowledge is knowing that we cannot know. No man ever prayed heartily without learning something. All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. It is not length of life, but depth of life. Life consists in what a man is thinking of all day. To know even what life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. A chief event of life is the day in which we have encountered a mind that startled us. It is one of the beautiful compensations in this life that no one can sincerely try to help another without helping himself. Don't be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. As soon as there is life, there is danger. People disparage knowing and the intellectual life and urge doing. I am content with knowing, if only I could know. Men love to wonder, and that is the seed of science. Truth is handsomer than the affectation of love. Your goodness must have some edge to it, else it is none. I have no hostility to nature, but a child's love to it. I expand and live in the warm day, like corn and melons. Nothing astonishes man so much as common sense and plain dealing. Men's actions are too strong for them. Show me a man who has acted and who has not been the victim and slave of his actions. There is a blessed necessity by which the interest of men is always driving them to the right, and again, making all crime mean and ugly. Truth is the property of no individual, but is the treasure of all men. Men admire the man who can organize their wishes and thoughts in stone and wood, and steel and brass. The revelation of thought takes man out of servitude into freedom. The reason why men do not obey us is because they see the mud at the bottom of our eye. The search after the great man and the dream of youth and the most serious occupation of manhood. In every society, some men are born to rule and some to advise. Men are what their mothers made them. A man is usually more careful of his money than he is of his principles. Money often costs too much. In the morning, a man walks with his whole body. In the evening, only with his legs.